celebration. The 59th and 5th Ave granny house with vanilla wafers. It's the remedy to separation. Tupac of my generation. Blue pill in the ocean matrix. Red rose in the gray pavement. Young black nigga trapped and he can't change it. Know he a genius, he just can't claim it. Cause they left him no platforms to explain it. He frustrated so he get faded. But deep down inside he know you can't fake it. How long should I stay dedicated? How long till opportunity need preparation? I need some real wicked reparations. Or I run up in your bank just for recreation. Dedication, hard work, plus patience. Some more of my sacrifice. I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication. Dedication. Look. I spent my whole life thinking not the box. Boxing homies 3-on-1, got DP, but I ain't trapped. Chirp on me, here I come. Spin around the block, they blurred on me. Said I ran a stop sign, but that's a lie. I spent my whole life staring at the stage, playing safe, but daddy smoking shirt, mama playing spades, catching papers. Grandma said I get some Jordans for my grades. That's my baby. When she died, my heart broke 100 ways. I spent my whole life trying to make it, trying to chase it. The cycle of a black man divided, trying to break it. You take a longest, you don't cry about it. Just embrace it. Find a setback for major comeback. That's my favorite. Like it now said you do a song with lips. Can't I hear a better grip? I said here, man, first you hear the words out of slips about flourishing from the streets to black businesses. Level 4, y'all living, giving to false imprisonment. Listen close, my little thing is bigger than deuces and false. My surveillance elementary. Close, mother, then you get straight like that. I give you the game, go back to the turf and give it right back. For generations, we've been dealt bad hands for bad plans. Prove your dedication by hopping out grand amps. Met the premier politicking with top nip and Snoop. I ain't stop watching the way you move. Dedication. Hold up. Blah. This ain't entertainment. It's fucking in on the slave shit. These soldiers and spirituals I swam against them waves with. Ended up on shore to their amazement. I hope the example I set's not contagious. Lock us behind gates but can't tame us. Used to be stay safe, now stay dangerous. Cause ain't no point playing defense. That's why I dove off the deep end living without a life jacket. Couple mil, tour the world, all my life crack. Cook the books, bring it back, so it's no taxes. Royalties, publishing, plus our own masters. I'd be made if I slave for some bikes. Harris, I was mapping this out, I hit the heights backwards. Hopping out the 85 when we bought passes. Spread a couple million dollars just to get established. To make it happen, you got to have dedication. Hard work, plus patience. To some more of my sacrifice. I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication. Dedication.
I've got 3 really important questions that you. Yeah. I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Yeah. I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Had a afraid almighty God, they let my dog out to kill him. When you get it straight up out the mud, you can't imagine it. I've been pulling up in the top house with the baddest. Young, been focused on my check. Got a new coupe wrapped around my neck. Trying to put the water on my protect. I got killers to the left of me. Where's Larkin on her? They show no mercy on her. We was going back to back. We put a curfew on her. It was dark clouds on us, but that was perfect for us. You know, you always crash and burn, but it was working for us. Double check the B12, double check the details. Gotta cross my T's and dot my I's or I can't sleep well. Millions off of retail. Once again, I prevail. Knew that was over from the day I dropped my pre-sale. Hold up, let the beat build. See me in the street still. I've been fighting battles up a steep hill. And my road dog 12, it was a sweet deal. And I've been riding solo trying to rebuild. I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Had a afraid almighty God, they let my dog out to kill him. When you get it straight up out the mud, you can't imagine it. I've been pulling up in the top house with the baddest. mission. Would you ever catch me slipping? Motorcaded shooters plus the Maybach chauffeur driven. If they catch me with it, they'll send me off to prison. Judge ain't sympathizing, court don't show forgiveness. Isn't in the Lambo drowning out the music. Sip Dior with the flowers, 5 gold Cubans. Champagne while I shop, hope I splurge foolish. Closing escrow twice this month, both commercial units. Damn, I wish my nigga fast was here. He died 30-something after banging all them years. Grammy nominated, in the sign of shedding tears. All this money, power, fame, and I can't make you reappear. But I'll wipe them though. We just embrace the only life we know. If it was me, I'd tell you to live your life and grow. I tell you finish where we started, reach the heights, you know. Gas the V12 to the pipe and smoke. I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Had to pray to Almighty God and let my dog out to kill him. When you get it straight up out the mud, you can't imagine it. I've been pulling up in the drop tops with the baddest. Young, been focused on my check. Got a new coupe wrapped around my neck. Trying to put the water on my potato. I got killers to the left of me. Another $1 million bill, that's just regular. See my granny on the jets, I never forget it. Next day we flew to Vegas with my Puma Connects. We break bread, we ain't new to success. Play music and best. Enterprise, take lucrative steps. Cold game, but I knew it was chess. That's a new for the set. Not in the game, you a student at best. But it's a couple things you can expect. Look, just like money, no money. So shooters respect. Other shooters, we was both doing my crew on your neck. Moving freeway in the drop, it got me losing my breath. Do the dash with the blues on the deck.
All right. Thank y'all for being on, guys. I gave y'all enough time to let everybody know that I'm on live. We're going to talk about a little support and resistance right now. And we're going to see what's going to go down. Right now, I'm in a couple of trades. I'm in Euro JPY and GBP JPY waiting for this Gartley pattern to fulfill. So I'm rocking on this Gartley pattern right here, this perfect Gartley pattern. And I'll show that to you. This is a trade setup that I put up for our savings account team. And so we're rocking this perfect Gartley right here. And we're going to see what this is going to do. We are getting some pullback, but it's okay. Right now, I'm looking at this pattern. And it all is about support and resistance, really, if you want to be very transparent with you. We've been watching this, and this is a trade that I have my whole savings account in. And this is a particular level right here where we're going to see a retracement. And one of the things I teach is that when you have a good harmonic scatter pattern up, you can just draw a trend line, wait for it to go across on this Gartley pattern. And then when it comes on this side, look for a retest and then just take that on up. But that's something that our team is doing today. I just want to have some fun with you guys as it pertains to support and resistance. I think it's one of the most undervalued concepts as it pertains to trading. And the reason why I say that is because we have so many people who are so indicator driven that they are not spending enough of their time mastering the fundamentals. And so today, I want to talk about mastering the fundamentals. Really mastering fundamentals. So if you're on live with me, give me a shout out right now. You are rocking with itpaystoknowspiller. We're going to have some fun this evening at 5 o'clock. And I always record this. I'll make this available on the recording. So we're going to record this and we're going to talk about support and resistance today. And hopefully when I'm done, I can give you a perspective on support and resistance maybe that you've never had. And I'm going to talk about how I draw out my charts too. So we'll start there because that dictates a lot of what I'm going to do. are how we do a lot of what we do. The pair that I'm looking at right now is GBP USD, one of my favorite pairs to teach and train from. So if you want to follow along with me, get on your MetaTrader 4 and let's mark up some charts together. And I'll just show you some simple ways that I mark up my charts with support and resistance and trend lines so it can kind of give me a proper perspective on how I want to trade. I always start out on the monthly chart. That's me. I like to start on the monthly chart and get a kind of perspective of what's going on from a monthly perspective, okay? And this is a pretty good, clear indication of a downtrend here. Let's try to draw a trend line here. All right. So on the monthly chart, our monthly lines are going to be yellow. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So this is what I like to do. All right. And you'll see a dominant trend here, but then you'll see another trend with inside of that trend. I like that too. I like to kind of do both of these because you'll see this trend coming up, right? Y'all see that? This is a trend line here. Got that touch right there. And went down. All right, now, this is what I like to do too, because here's another sub-trend. And some people teach this, some people don't. One of my mentors pointed this out to me. And it's what I do, but this is like a sub-trend. And you'll see it came here, pulled back, came here, pulled back, came here, pulled back, right? But not only do you see a sub-trend, watch this. This is just from the monthly chart. You'll see this angle right here. Excuse me. It gets pretty fun when you do this outright, right? And you'll see this trend right here. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see what's happening here? Now, I have this line here, and I'll delete that because I'm going to be working with inside this channel. So I did have a larger trend. I deleted it because I want to work inside of this trend for where price is. And so we'll start working from there. Let's work in from there. Let's put in some work. Is that what Rihanna say? Work, 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 work. You hit me with that work, work, work. All right. So, no, I don't want to do that because I can't see your comments. All right. This is GBP USD. This is GBP USD. Okay, so I wanted to kind of know what I'm looking at, where I could probably expect from a monthly perspective. The higher the time frame, the stronger the support resistance. Write that in your notes. The higher the time frame, the stronger your support resistance. Then when I go down to the weekly, I'm looking at the weekly from this perspective. Look, this is from my monthly. I'm looking at the weekly. I'm trying to see if I can find a level of structure here. And what I mean by structure, support, or resistance, to see if it's at one of those levels on the weekly chart. And to see what we have going on here on the weekly chart, okay? And if you look at the weekly chart, you know, we have some structural tests, but it's kind of staying within this realm. I want you to look here, and you can kind of see a weekly support level here, right? And then you'll see this kind of sitting right here. So, and I'm kind of showing you my perspective on how I view my charts and what I'm looking at on my charts, right? So this is what I'm looking at. I'm kind of mapped out a zone from the yellow is the monthly, the orange is the weekly. Let's go down to the day chart. I just kind of want to give a perspective of where I can kind of see what this trade is actually going to be doing, right? And I'll see some areas. I'll go up about right there. And you can bring that down here, but here on the weekly, it was about right here. Let me go back. Make sure I have that right on the weekly. Yeah, that's it. Now we're going to the day chart. Let's get into some, really see what's happening. Wow, look at that. Here's another trend here. And you're like, man, that's a lot on the chart. Well, and I'll change the colors so I'll know where my trend lines are. And so I'll probably go with like a purple. Right, and I see this trend line here. Right. You could have went there, but I didn't. I went right here on this pullback. So this is a down move. This is the pullback, and that. So we see this downtrend where GBP has been flowing. Here, this would have been a perfect place to catch this move down on the day chart. All right, but now I want you to see something because this is very important. So we have this downtrend move here. We're just zooming in. We're working out to zoom in. We're going to change this color to purple. Bam. Y'all see this? Let's have some fun. All right, so this is a level of structure here. You could draw squares. I'm just drawing lines for the time being. And I'm looking at this trade, right? I'm looking at this trade, and I'm looking at these wicks that have tested in this area, which allowed me to draw this right here in this area. I can even pull it down just a little bit right there to be great. All right, cool. Do y'all see that? Now, so yellow is monthly, weekly, daily. Here's something that I teach our students. Here's something that I teach our students. And I want this to make sense. Here's something that we always teach. You want to trade in open space. And I tell this all the time. And I'll write this in your notes. If you think this is going to be worth it, I would tell you to write this in your notes. Right? We only trade at structure. If price isn't at structure, we don't trade it. We only trade at structure. Is that making sense? All right? Is that making sense? We only trade at structure. Right? If the price is not at structure, we're not taking the trade. We only trade at structure. Come on, write that in the chat right there. I want y'all to all write this in the chat. We only trade at structure. I want y'all to write that because I want that to be your Bible. I want that to be your Bible. We only trade at structure. We don't diddle in the middle. We don't diddle in the middle. We only trade at structure. Do you see structure here? So we'd have been waiting for this to hit this level, right? We just saw this level, right? And we just saw this down move, right? But then we would have paused right here at this level. So this would have been our entry here. And we'd have been looking to take profit here. Because we trade, as I teach on my team, we only trade from structure to structure. We don't diddle in the middle. Right? Are y'all hearing me? We don't diddle in the middle. We only trade from structure to structure. Sometimes I'll get people in my group and they'll ask, hey, Dr. Spiller, I got a question for you. Can I still get in? Can I still get in? Right? Can I get in? Is it too late to get in? Right? And what will happen is the trade will be in mid move. Right? And they'll ask me, can I get in? You want to get in at a structural level, or you want to get in at a pullback, some form of pullback to get in at a better price. You don't want to get in at this price because it's already made its move. You want to wait for some type of pullback, hopefully to the structure, but it didn't pull back to the structure. So since it didn't pull back to retest that structure, you would have had to wait to get in this trade right here. And you'd have been looking for a buy opportunity. And you want to catch this buy opportunity coming back up to take your TP here. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Again, I'm not doing no indicators today. This is just price action, support, resistance. Price action, support, resistance. That's all we do. Price action, support, resistance. Price action, support, resistance. You waiting for price to get to structure. You're waiting for price to get to structure. And when it gets to structure, you're going to make your decision. Right? When it gets to structure, you're going to make your decision. You're going to make your decision on whether or not you're going to take this trade going down. Right? Right? But you have to have a confirmation of candles. And there are two candles that I teach our team. I teach two candles two candlestick patterns as beginner indicators for what the trade is going to do. I teach two candlestick patterns. I teach engulfing candles. I don't teach all of them. I don't want them to be overwhelmed, right? Engulf. So we teach engulfing candles and we teach exhaustion candles. This is what I teach so people can get a true perspective, right, on what to do. So we teach engulfing candles, we teach exhaustion candles. And these are typically our trigger candles for getting into a trade. We wanted to get to structure, right? We see this exhaustion candle right here. And we see the decision being made right here. We saw it got to that structure, it exhausted. We saw after it exhausted a decision candle. You got in, it pulled here, it pulled back, right, to get retest this level, and then we had the move that took place. So we teach two once it gets to structure, right? Exhaustion, engulfing. Now there are others. There are morning star patterns, evening star patterns, three white soldiers, three black crows, pin bars is another one. So there's so many different candlestick patterns that you can use, but nothing beats trading with just straight price action, right? Everything else is just for confluence. Any other indicator you use is for confluence, is for confirmations. Whether you got your MACD, or you have your RSI, or you have your ADX, or you have your CCI, or you have your stochastic. Those are just for confirmation on what price action, and all I'm talking about is price action, is what the candles are saying to you. That's what price action is. What are the candles saying as it pertains to structure levels, right? And so that's what we do. We look for structure levels. We want a structure level, right? We want a structure level, and we want once it gets to structure level, we're looking for certain price action indicators to show us where to go, right? And one of the things I noticed while people are making bad trades, they make bad trades because they diddle in the middle, right? They have no patience to wait for it to get to structure and watch how it responds to structure. I teach SK5, and one of the things about SK5 is we'll have what we call a transition zone, but that transition zone usually takes place at structure. And that's what most people don't know. I teach a simple system where you don't have to be a rocket scientist to start making profits in trades. And so when you have a TZ zone in a TZ, which is transition zones usually occur at structure. And I discovered that, and that's why I teach it, to keep it simple. I teach it to keep it simple. I teach structure to keep it simple. So once it gets to structure, it's usually a transition zone. That red moving average that you have on SK5, the purpose of that red moving average on SK5 is so that you can see where a transition zone is on a trade. So you can see where a transition zone is on a trade, right? But that's how you're going to win. You're going to win from structure to structure. So you see this on the 4-hour chart. And so it's down here, right? And what I love about this, I'm watching this candle, it is 5 o'clock, right? Well, let's drop down to the hour chart. So we have, we're looking at this. This is on the day chart, right? But let's drop down to the hour chart just to see what we can see. My hour chart is where I'm going to take my entry. I don't take entries on 15 minutes. I'm going to take my entry on the hour chart. Some people go down to the 15-minute, but I'm looking for the hour chart for me. Nothing wrong with the 15. I just take mine on the hour chart. So my entry is going to come from the hour chart. So let's go down to the hour chart. Let's look at this GBP USD. Woo, look at this. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Here's a price action tip that will help you maximize your earning potential on your trades. Now, we would call this a transition zone, right? or a candlestick cluster, and that's what you have. Okay. Now, what I teach is if you want to take this buy, it has to break this cluster area. If you're going to take this buy, you need it to break this cluster area going up. If it doesn't break this cluster area, you got to draw these clusters. If it doesn't break this cluster area, you can't take that trade, right? Now, if it breaks this support here, right? Some people wait for the retest and then take it. You can do that. Some people wait for the break, and when they get the break, they take it because retests are not guaranteed, and they do it that way, just simply on price action. So what I do is on MetaTrader 4, what I like to do is I'll come in, and here's a good tip for you to just wait for the breakout. Take you the rectangular tool, right? And what you're looking for is a breakout of this structure for the buy. We're not looking for the sell. If we're looking for the sell, we want it to break this level down here. But we're looking for this structural level to be broken here in the buy. Because what will happen, it'll come, it'll retest this, and then it'll take off, right? You have this level here, you have another level here, you have another level here before it gets here, right? And so you got this level right here. So it could come here and come down and retest, go up here, come down, go up here, come down. It's just, it depends. So what we're looking for here is what I'll show you next. And if I was drawing a Fibonacci extension, right? Or just like a Fibonacci retracement from this move. Let's say we want to measure this move down to see if this is going to go up, right? You want to measure this move down to see if this is going to go up, right? Your TP1 is going to be at your 32. Here's your TP1. Your TP2 is going to be at your 61. So TP1 here, TP2 here, and here's your TP3. Right? If this starts going up, your TP1 is going to be here, TP2 is going to be here, right? TP3 is going to be here. Now, if it gets to the 61, which is right in here, we have some people who will wait and then place a sell limit order right here at the 61. And catch this coming back down. That's what they'll do. But that's how you can look into trading this on the hour chart. If you want to trade it on the hour, you can wait for it to break out here. When it breaks out here, your TP1 is right here. If it breaks here, your TP2 is right here. If it breaks here, your TP3 is right here at the full 100% retracement of this leg that just went down. Right? And that's what it is. So your key is going to be 38.2, 61.8, and a full 100% retracement. Right? Some people sit here on the 61.8 and wait for a price to respond and probably go down and test this structural level, and they'll take a TP right here, right? Or they'll take another TP, right? They could take it at the 50. They could take another TP at the 30, right? And that's what they'll do. They'll just put a sell limit order right here, and they do it that way. Hopefully this is making sense. Is this making a little bit of sense to you guys on how we are looking for where take profits can be on something like this? Is this making sense? I'm gonna look for some comments in the group. Is this making a little sense? Give me some hearts and some love drops if this is making some sense. Give me some hearts and some love drops. Right? I saw somebody give a mean face. Another mean face. Some people. All right. I just want to make sure this is making sense for you guys, because it makes no sense for us not to know how to trade. So we went out, we looked at this. Now, here's something I want you to consider as well. There's a trend line here flowing with this on the 1 hour chart. There is a downtrend right here on the 1 hour chart. All right, let's change this color to, you have a downtrend on the 1 hour chart. Let's change this color to white. So this is our level from the white, right? And so what we have here, here's some structure right here. Right, do you see this downtrend? This is beautiful, right? And so what can happen here, once you map this out, it could break here, come, hit here, and then come back down. That's one thing that can happen, right? So here's one move. Or it could break here, retest here, and then go up this way, right? Based on this trend line right here, we could have this come up, test this structure. Are you seeing it? If you're trading on the 1 hour chart, you see that. If you're a 1 hour trader, right, and you're looking for a sell opportunity, watch how price responds to this trend line, right? If it responds to that trend line, here's some pips right here back down to this level if it's enough space for you to get some money out of that, right? You could take this up to here and you could TP here, right? You could TP here. If you get a candlestick pattern that shows it, if it breaks here, you know, you just remember where your 61 was, you remember where your 100% retracement was. If it breaks here, it'll break and then it'll come back, retest, watch for the retest, and then it'll go. Some people take it on the initial break. Some people wait for the retest. Guys, there's no bad way to do this. There's just many different ways that people do it. There's just many ways people do this. Many ways people do this. And you can do it too. Trading is not difficult. You just gotta know what you're looking at. You know what you're looking for. All right. So look at GBP USD here, right? Nothing's going on, but we can look at that and we can kind of see what's going on. Let me take something from the audience. If you have a currency pair you want me to look up, go ahead and type it in right now, and I'll try to go and look up that currency pair and try to tell you what I think is getting ready to happen. If you have a currency pair you want me to look up, give me that currency pair and I'll go try to look it up and see what it is. I'm a 1 minute trader. I'm good for 1 minute moves. You know you got to be special when Stevens and Lindor gets on your training session. I got to be rocking it to have a superstar like that. Hey man, I saw your video on YouTube with that money that you were throwing in the air. That was hilarious. All the money that you were just throwing around. I just want to make sure that you know that. That's for my friend Lindor. All right, let's go look at gold. I like gold. Stevenson, Lindor. Lindor. All right, let's go look at gold. I was trying to see if Lindor responded. Trying to see if Lindor responded. Woo, woo, woo. Man. That was from my friend Stevenson Lindor. All right, so let's go look at gold. I saw that video. I was gone, bro. I was gone. I guess he will pay for their tuition. Oh God. Whew. Okay. All right. I call this, let's go markup gold, but I call that gold sell perfectly. And I knew it was going to retrace based on, why Lindor got to get on my stuff? Why Lindor got to get on my stuff with that? Woo! All right, Lindor. So let's go back. All right, so this is what I was plotting to go with my team. I saw that this level was, that goal had reached a monthly level, and I was looking for a retracement. You wait till you have a live. I'm coming on your stuff. But I saw this for my team. Let's change this color to yellow, because I try to use the same thing every time. All right, because this was very important. When I saw gold at an earlier call out that we did, I knew that gold was getting to this structural level right here. And as it had been getting here in the past, I was looking for a retracement, as it has been respecting this area. That's why you go out to look at a higher time frame, and then you draw back in. Okay? All right, you go out, look at a higher time frame, and then you come back in. And that's why I love them looking at monthly support and resistance, because I know typically there's a higher percent that I'm gonna get a response at a monthly support resistance than I would at a 15-minute, or in the case of Stevenson Lindor, a 1-minute support and resistance level. Okay, so I knew I love looking for things like this. I love looking for things like this. I love looking for things like this. I love when price gets to an area like this, right? I love when price gets to an area like this, because I know that I'm going to get some type of response via price action. I know I'm going to get to some type of response via price action. I know I'm going to get it, right? And so I love finding stuff like this. Now, let's go in and look, because we have this high here, right here. And this is a trade that we called out before, when we saw that it got to this level. Now, there was another level. I'm sorry, hold on for a second. There's another level, hold on. Let's do this. Let me do this, right? But we know when it got to that level, it was gonna go down. All right, so let me show you another level here that I saw as well. Right, this was the month of April, and this is May. So I knew that I was in a downtrend as a result of hitting this high. I knew that we would have some form of a downtrend, and it hit that high. And once I saw this candle, I knew it was on. So it came, this was month of April, we were still in this downtrend. You understand me? We were still in this downtrend. I saw this, that this was constantly going down on this side of this candle. So I knew I saw this downtrend on the monthly. I saw this wick here, and I saw this here, and I saw this here, and I knew this thing was going down. Now, listen to me, right? So let's bring it to more recent, right? And then I came here. Last month, it stopped right here. Do you see what it did last month? Did you see what it did last month? Last month, it stopped right here too. But let's go into the past and see if that's an important area. We have a tweezer bottom, right? That's a confirmation pattern. Here's another tweezer bottom, right? Right? And you saw this area here on the monthly is where price responded to retrace. And I saw that too. So once it got down here, I had my levels already drawn on the monthly, here and here, right? That this is where it responded here, and this is where it responded down there. So then I start going in. I mean, I start really drawing into this. So let's go into the weekly. Excuse me. Now, so do you see this weekly structure trend line right here? right? Right? And we're going to make this color orange. Excuse me, guys. Do you see this? Do you see me mapping this out? And I'm sorry. This is how I think everyone should trade. Notice I'm not using no indicators, just naked chart trading is the best. So, so we saw this trend line. I saw the trend line earlier, but I saw this trend line right here. This is the weekly, right? I knew that this was a level here, and I knew it was going to pull back up to this weekly level. I've already drawn this out. I'm redrawing it for you. Then we went down to the daily. This is going to be our purple line. Right? Do you see this triangle forming? Let's zoom out. We have a triangle here, right? We have it working this down here, hitting here, retracing, hitting here, retracing, and coming up here. If you're in a gold trade right now, we have a gap right here. You can see that this was a gap, but it came back into this area, right, and formed a pin bar, which is another candlestick pattern of exhaustion. Formed a pin bar. Now, we're watching this because if you got in this trade, you got in this trade at a structure. You got into a buy. Where was your buy? Right? Where'd you get in this buy? Right here. Do you see your buy? Right? Why was I in a buy? Because this is some of the things I teach our students. When you're in a buy, why are you in a buy? Because I have a tweezer bottom right here. And it's right next to a monthly structural level. Right? Right next to a monthly structural level. I saw this. I took this buy opportunity. Right? And this was from last week. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a buy opportunity from last week. Now, I told my team about this, put my team in it. We took a sale earlier this week and we caught some pips on the sale, but I'll show you that in a second too. The overall move here was an up move, and we're waiting for it to get to this level to see if it was going to come back down and we catch a sell at this trend line on this weekly level. This is gold. I'm looking at gold. Right? Let's clear this out. So I know now I'm not seeing anything here on this level that I need to see. I'm already seeing it by playing the weekly and the monthly support and resistance from each other. Let's drop down to the 4 hour. Let's see what we see on this 4 hour. Oh, it's getting better. What do we see on the 4 hour? This is the trade I called earlier this week. And I told them it was going to drop. I said, do not get out of gold. It was going to drop. Now, let's draw our purple line on our 4 hour. Let's give this 4 hour, well, purple was the day chart. So on this one, I'm going to make it blue. And I have this. And here's this structural level right here. Just straight structure, right? But when it got up here and I saw this exhaustion, I told our team that this was dropping, and they took this trade and they should have made some money, and it got right here. And I said, were you looking for a pullback right here? Right? And that's what it did. Now, this was from today, right? This is the move from last night to today. Now, look what happened when it got right here. Now, what are y'all seeing on this structural level? You asked me about gold. Do you see this structural level here? Do you see it on the 4 hour? Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Now, if that's the case and it hit here, where's the next move probably going to go? Maybe back up to retest this. If it comes down, then that's good. You can wait for the retest of that and then go down, or you could just go ahead and take that move right there. But what we're seeing gold do right now is gold has already been in this area. It's at a structural level. We can look for a buy, right? Or right, while we're watching it, there's really no real confirmations here that this is going to be a buy. Those candles not long enough. So let's drop down to the hour chart. Let's see what's happening on the hour chart. All right, we have a gap here that opened up at 5 o'clock, but look at what's happening here, right? This could come up to here. This is on the hour chart. This could come up to here and retrace. But if you were in it, you could have took this trade up to here. And how many pips is that on a buy? About 20 pip move right there from that gap up. It could come here and then come back down. So if you're looking at gold, did a small gap on the hour. It looked like it tried to wick and close it. But what I looked at right here was on the daily time frame. This right here, and this right here. And there was a trigger for that to go up. Now, could it pause here and come back down? Absolutely, right? But you're taking a risk either way it goes. Your stop loss, put your stop loss down here. If you were taking a buy, your stop loss should be right under 1279.18. If you're taking a buy. If you're taking a buy, it should be right at 1279.18. Your stop loss should be right under that. And your TP should be somewhere right here, which is 1283.86. Just want to do some teaching on support resistance and let y'all see what's actually taking place. All right. All right, guys. I just want to give y'all a little time. It's 5:39. I think I have time to look at one more. If I'm looking at gold, I saw a retest here, or I saw this structural test here, wicking off this structural test with an exhaustion candle. Right? And then watching it kind of hold right here. Y'all see that little hole right there? And then this gap up, it may wick down to close it and then finish its way up. That's my prognosis. If you wanted to, you could have put fibs on this and take your first TP at the 32, which is what I would have done. Just drop a fib on it. And my first TP is right here, right there. Right? I would take a TP right here, 1283.86 on this retracement. If it goes up, it's right there on this level. Right? If it doesn't go down, my stop loss is right here. That's a risk that I would take to take those 20 pips. So I'm right here, right here. Some of y'all 15-minute people watching this kind of move up, gradually work its way up. It could be coming down on a 15 to test this area right here before it takes off. Bounce off there and then go up. All right, let's do one more and I'll let y'all go. Let's go to a pair, GBP NZD. Well, no, because that had that big spike up yesterday. Here's one, GCAD. I saw some people call one on GCAD. They missed that call. It was a bad call. But GCAD, all right. All right, we're looking at this monthly. All right. Look at this. Ooh, it's going to be a breakout. Where's it going to break though? So I see a monthly structure. I see it coming up and I see it coming down on the monthly. This is GCAD. And you kind of have this here. This, wow. It's right at that level. It's already rejecting right here, right here. You're looking for a breakout on GCAD. And this is the weekly. Let me change my lines because I drew this up on the monthly chart. I usually try to stay with the same colors so I always know what I'm working with. Can you believe 2 years ago, I didn't know a doggone thing about this? Oh, yeah, I teach my students to use the MACD. So I'm looking at this. Let's go today. This thing went down in a sell last night, got here and pulled back. So I'm going to draw me some structural levels here on the day chart. This is a doji sandwich. When you have a doji between two decision-made candles, it's called a doji sandwich. So this is indecision. This means the decision has been made. And it hit a small little structural level right here too, just small. It's probably on the 1 hour or somewhere on there where we see this, right? This could possibly be a chance for this to go back up. So in between there. And then I'm gonna bring this down, at least about right there. So in between here and here. All right, so this is on the day chart. So we see this holding here on this level, so we could get a move back up. But that's what we do. We look for structure. This would have been an exhaustion candle, and there was a gap here. And this is going back up on the day chart. Let's go to the 4 hour. So we see this wick here. We see this strong impulse leg right here. There are two ways you can do this just on price action alone. You could take it and drop this like this, wait for it to break this side of the trend line and then catch it going up. That's a little tip I'll give you. You can do something like that. Just lay it right just like that, wait for it to break, and then take it going back up to the upside for some pips. But let's say you don't want to do that. This is exhaustion right here on this level, right? And it's trying to pull up from this level. So I will draw fibs, again, just to see where some take profits possibly be on this trade. So my TP1 will be here. Just giving you an example. TP1, TP2 at the 61, and then TP3 at this full extension level. Is that what I do all day? So I have this. I'll take my TP1 here, TP2 here. I'll be looking to see how price responds here at this level and see if I can get me a sell limit order to come back down and continue this move that just took place. but my TP1s would have been at 175,778, and then there's 176,272, and then the final move right there. So I'll take the impulse leg right there, and I would draw my fib levels on each one of them. So I gave you that, but I'm looking at this right here. On a move up, I like it for a buy after this. And I'm gonna tell you why. This is just something that we do, right? All right, this never made it to the 61.8, which is right here. It started retracing right here on this, right? It's holding right here. It's holding right here, right? Almost at the 6, it almost came to it, but it's holding right here. Now, if it had broke to 78.6, it was just going all the way down, but it never even got to the 61, got close to the 61, and then we're seeing some form of retracement right here, right? But it got in this zone, right here in this zone, and looking to go back up. There are people who put pending orders right here. I don't do that necessarily. I just wait for the confirmation of the pair to show me what to do. And let's see what time it is. All right. That's pretty cool. Everybody does fibs different. Chris does his fibs different than mine. Everybody does fibs different. My fibs, and the way I do fibs, the way he does it is different. Everybody does it the way that they know how to do it. And I would say he's right the way he does it. And I would say I'm right the way I do it. What makes him right is how much money you make. So I would say Chris is right, and I would say I'm right. That's how I respond to that. And I'm looking for this retracement, just like that. What time is it? Oh, I got 7:50. GBP JPY. Right, this is GBP JPY. I'm looking for this impulse leg here. Very strong impulse leg, broke out of structure right here. I'm just on a 4 hour. I'm not going to do all that again, but I saw this impulse leg here. So I grabbed fibs from this impulse leg, and I'm seeing if it's going to turn. This did this on the whatever, but if it's going to turn, my TP1 for GBP JPY is here. TP2 is here, and I start looking for some type of reversal in that area. But I would definitely take this to TP1, which is 143,984. 143,984, right? And you'll see that GBP JPY. I think I'm just looking for this overextension. This is an overextension. So I'm looking for a retracement, right? Now, let's go out. Let me go out and to tell you why I was looking for a retracement. I'm looking the same thing on Euro JPY as well. But let me tell you why I'm looking at that or that. I'm looking at the monthly chart, and I was looking at how price is holding on this level. This is GBP JPY, and I'm gonna let y'all go. I had fun with y'all today. GBP JPY. I saw this level right here. Right here. I saw this level right here. And I'm looking for a retracement on this level right here. Right? Now I saw this level right here. That's on monthly. Then I came in, went weekly just to see what was going on. I knew it's in some form of consolidation. It's in the sideways movement. So it's in consolidation here. But I saw this. And I said to myself, this is going to retrace. All right, now I went into the day chart, right? And this isn't a downward trend on the day chart. The initial downward trend was here. We had a break of the trend, then they have a come back down. This is on the day chart, sorry. Right. I looked at this level here. I'll even move it up. I looked at this trend line being broken, then coming back down, breaking again. We thought it was going to retest, but it did not, pushed all the way down here. Now, so for me, this trend line is no longer valid, right? Right. So now there are some people who drew the trend line right here that say it was a downward trend on the day chart. What I'm looking at was this level on GBP JPY. I was looking at this level and I was looking for a retracement on that level to go into a buy. I still think it's going to go into that buy on retracement. And I saw that it was coming right here. Look at this. So we got this level right here. So if you were in GBP JPY, there's a potential that this thing could come up like a 50 pip move right there as a result of wicking off of that level. But I saw this level on the monthly chart and I zoomed in on it. We go 4 hour, right? I'm still seeing this level, this area being respected. Do y'all see how that area is being respected? And then not only is it being respected, this right here is what I teach my team. It's called a pin bar. Exhaustion candle, right? I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 in this area. I'm looking for a retracement on GBP JPY. Just a matter of time before it starts retracing. If you don't over leverage, you should be good. But I'm looking, this is going to go up. I see a retracement. I just don't know when, but it's going to go up. Now, what you can do is draw fibs. You can go from this high for the impulse leg to here, and your TP1 is here, TP2 is here, TP3 is here, somewhere in here. And then in between here, the 61.8, you can start looking for a confirmation to go back down into a sale, and you can do that. But that's what I'm seeing. I'm looking at TP1 to be somewhere in here, so I'm looking for 50 pips out of this. 50 pips easy is what I'm looking for. If you don't over leverage, you should be good. Right now, it's in a strong consolidation. But if you don't over leverage, you should be good. All right. So for some of you, you can see this. As this continues to move up, when this breaks this level for me, when I get a break of this level here, and I see that it clearly broke, I'm going to add another position here to catch it coming up even more. So I'm going to wait for a break of this level and see if there's some form of retest or a pause here. But when it breaks here at 143.301, I'm going to look to take another position. And I'm going to hit this more than once. I'm telling you now. I'm going to hit this trade more than once when it starts moving. When it starts moving, I'm going to hit it more than once. You can bet your bottom dollar on that. All right, guys. Hopefully that made some sense just on price action, drawing up your charts, putting your chart work in. It's a beautiful thing when you can draw up your charts and put your chart work in. It's going to help you in the long run, guys. Do your chart work. Do your chart work. If you're drawing a box, you can draw a box like this. And wait for a break of this structure. That's what I say. When it breaks here and it breaks the structure, I'm putting another position in. But this is what I wanted. Do you see this? That's all I wanted to see. So I will be in a buy for this. That's all I want to see was this candle right here on this monthly resistance. I want to see this candle on this monthly resistance. We'll see what happens. All right, does that help everybody? Y'all good? Y'all good?
I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Yeah. I was riding around in the V12 with the racks in the middle. Had to pray to Almighty God and let my dog got to kill him. When you get it straight up out the mud, you can't imagine it. I've been pulling up in the top house with the baddest. Young been focused on my check. Got a new coupe wrapped around my neck. Trying to put the water on my potato. I got killers to the left of me. Where's Larkin on her? They show no mercy on her. We're going back to back. We put a curfew on her. It was dark clouds on us, but that was perfect for us. You know, you always crash and burn, but it was working for us. Let my check the B12, double check the details. Gotta cross my T's and dot my I's or I can't sleep well. Millions off of retail. Once again, I prevail. Knew that was over from the day I dropped my pre-sale. Hold up, let the beat build. See me in the street still. I've been fighting battles up a steep hill. And my road dog 12, it was a sweet deal. And I've been riding solo trying to rebuild. I was riding around in the V12 with the